Welcome to day 196 of the Let's Grow Annual Challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, and today we're focusing on financial growth this entire month. And our topics are, I've got two today because there's so many things that we could talk about with respect to financial health, financial well-being, financial growth. Some days I need to double stack and add two topics instead of just one. So these are related topics. We're going to talk about investments and multiple streams of income. Why? Why would we care about investments, number one, or multiple streams of income? Multiple streams of income just means, and it's a term that refers to us having more than one way that resources or money flows into our life. Think of it as a stream or a river with a bunch of streams flowing into it. That's how I like to visualize and think about my financial streams of income, because I want to have more than just one way to have resources coming to me. For example, I had a sudden cardiac arrest in 2010, and my main stream of income, actually, it kept going because I had set it up that way. But if it didn't, I wasn't able to work. I was in a coma for, 7 to 10 days, and I wasn't doing anything. So if all of my resources were dependent on me physically doing something, I would have been SOL. And whenever things happen, and life is going to happen, we can't necessarily perform activities for an exchange of value for money, right? We can't necessarily go to our job or go to work, and things happen all the time. So we want to be prepared so that if something happens that we're not able to work, we've got other sources of income coming into our life, so we're not stressing out and freaking out, especially things like health challenges. And health challenges usually come because of stress in some way, shape, or form. Then if we don't have the resources to cover the expenses associated with that, or to cover our normal living expenses, everything just blows up and gets even more stressful. So that's one of the reasons I think everyone should have multiple streams of income. Now, what are some of the advantages of that? Well, financial security, of course, risk mitigation. When we have more than one way to make money or bring income into our lives, it allows us to reduce the amount of risk of any one thing that we might do, any opportunity or any business we might want to get involved in, etc. Now, I've lived this way my entire life. I had a corporate job for over a quarter century, while simultaneously owning, operating, starting, building businesses on the side. I learned it from my dad. I thought it was a great strategy. He worked at Minnesota Mining and Manufacturing for his career, his entire engineering career and leadership career. He was, I don't know how many engineering projects he did, just like me. I actually went to school to become an engineer, and I think maybe I did actually in corporate America a handful of actual what you would call technical engineering projects, but for the most part I was in the leadership and quality. But I consider building processes and systems is kind of engineering. You kind of have to engineer that, but not really. It's not the same. I think he probably did about as many, maybe more than me, because he started out in the labs, in the chemical labs, but as a boss or something. I don't even remember it because I was very little at the time. But he always had his corporate income as well as business income from a variety of different businesses on the side. So it's one of the ways to have multiple streams of income. To have your main profession, but then have side gigs, or I don't like the term side hustle, but people call it side hustles. Maybe you do consulting on the side. Maybe you do contract work on the side. Again, it depends on who you work for, whether you're allowed to do that or not. You're definitely not allowed to do it for the competition in any business. And, ethically, morally, probably not a good idea either. But it allows us to make decisions and choices. I know in my corporate career, I knew I always had income to fall back on, and it allowed me to go in there and be myself and lead the way I wanted to lead, because I knew even if I got fired for it or lost my job, I would still be okay and my family would still be okay. So it adds financial security, risk mitigation, increased earning potential, of course, and financial. You have more resources coming in, you have more opportunities and more chances to do something with that money, to invest it in different ways that will also create streams of income for you. And it allows absolutely positively independence, and it allows us to be able to grow and expand and think for ourselves. When we know that we don't have to worry that the bills are going to get covered and the bills are going to get paid, we make choices that are more in alignment with who we really are than what we think we should or have to do. So what are some examples of multiple streams of income? And what are some strategies to make sure that we're setting ourselves up for success by having more than one stream of income? We want to diversify our income streams, right? We want to make sure that they're not all coming from one thing or one industry. Because if something happens to that industry specifically, or that job, or that role specifically, or that company, we would be SOL because we wouldn't have any other resources coming in. Believe me, unemployment is, I don't even know what unemployment is. But the one time I got it, it was like $300 a week. And I think back then I was probably making $5,000 a week. So that wasn't even enough to, well, put groceries on the table probably, but that was it, which wasn't really ever an option for me. Continuous learning and improvement. We want to leverage, we want to leverage our personal skills. We all develop skills and abilities throughout the course of our lifetime. Some people go to college, some people go to trade school, some people learn on the particular thing that they're interested in. But we want to make sure we're continually learning and developing skills that are marketable or valuable to other people, so that we don't have to depend on any one thing, any one job, any one employer, anything. But I would contend that the vast majority of people do that. They follow that model still, where they go to school, they get a job, they work there until something happens, and then they have to run to figure out what to do instead. What are some different types to have different streams of income? Again, employment and side gigs, investment in stocks and bonds and other entities, other businesses. Businesses are my personal favorite way to have multiple streams of income. I love to have several different businesses going at the same time. Now, I am part of those businesses, but I do not have to do the day-to-day operations of any of those businesses because there's only one of me. So we set up systems and structures and put them in place so that the businesses can run themselves, and we just have to oversee them. Done that for probably 30 years now, maybe a little longer. Help start, help structure, help document, help train, coach, develop, and then let those businesses go and grow and run on their own. And I just have residual income from that. Residual income is another great example, and another one of my favorite passive income streams, because I do something once and then I earn money and royalties or commissions on that for perpetuity until the information or the product or the service that I created. I'm talking authors, music, processes, things like that, until they're no longer useful. Well, the trick there is to create things that are evergreen and are things that will always be of value to human beings, because humans are always going through evolutions and development, right? So when I create something, it was right because I needed it at the time. And then other people are coming and developing in certain areas and certain skills along right behind me, and they will be for probably ever, right? Human beings go through different evolutionary stages as we grow and as we age. So I like to create things like that. So what's our action item today? Our action item today is to think about how many streams of income you have coming into your life. If you could just share the number below. My favorite number, my minimum number, is to always have 5. I always want to have 5 because that diversifies my income streams enough that no matter what happens, like even COVID, I'm going to be okay and my family's going to be okay. So how many do you have? And then brainstorm and think if you don't have as many as you want, and then how many do you want to have? Let's do how many do you have? How many do you want to have? I know people that literally have hundreds of streams of incomes coming into their lives. I know authors that have written a couple of hundred books, and each one of those books is still selling. Those are incredible examples of residual income that continues to pay them over and over and over again. And now with digital online businesses and things, and there's network marketing, there's so many different industries that you can add another stream of income to your life. All right, that's all I've got today. I'm rambling. If I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, figure out and think about investments and multiple streams of income. I guess I didn't talk about investments much. Investments are putting your resources and backing, either by experience or finances or other skills and abilities, other companies where you get paid in return for that. There's lots of different types of investments, and there are lots of scams out there as well. So again, always buyer beware. Even though we think we shouldn't have to, I think that in this day and age, even more so than when I was growing up, we absolutely positively have to think for ourselves and make the choices that are right for us. All right, have a great day. I'll be with you tomorrow.